Today we're going to be checking out a new building game.
You want to flick this? Okay. Have to play with you.
Not that kind of game. This game is called Hometopia, and it's another building simulation game. So if you like games like The Sims or House Flipper, this could be a game worth checking out. And it has a few good features about it. So when you play it, you have two modes. You have a career mode. You're basically an interior designer or a builder who you take on these clients. They all have different types of requests and things they're into and budgets and all that kind of stuff. You could have someone who really loves a lot of color, and you could just be doing one room, for example, their bathroom. They might want tons of color. Or you might have someone who you're basically doing their whole house for. Or you might have someone that, they want the most bougie and high-end things, but they have a budget of $2. You probably won't really get someone with the $2 budget, but you get the idea. Or you have another mode, which is the one that I'm doing right now, and that is called sandbox mode, where you have no restrictions, full creativity, full access to all the furniture in the catalog that they have. No one's telling you what to do. It's all on your terms. So one of the ideas of the games is that you can play through career mode and you raise enough money to build your dream home. So it's kind of like that, but a fast forwarded version if you just want to dive straight into just building. When I came across this game, I saw another YouTube video about this, and when I saw it, I was just like, oh, I should keep this in mind, because the game wasn't out yet. And so I just kind of had it on the back of the radar, like, oh, that'd be a cool game to try. And then one day, I don't know how I ended up on Indeed, but I was just like looking, and it just so happened that this game had a freelance position on Indeed for what they were calling a designer in residence. They want someone to, either interior designers or architects, to just build houses for their game, to make short form videos for like TikTok, Instagram, things like that, because it wasn't out yet at the time. So they wanted to have people design really cool homes so that they could feature them, and, just for marketing purposes and to just help with the launch of the game. So I truly felt honored. I applied for it, and not even 24 hours later. By the way, I'm looking at it and I'm like, do I have to be an interior designer or an architect? Because I'm technically not any of those things, but they mentioned on their qualifications, if you just have a good background and experience in building simulation games, and because of Sims, and I've been playing that for years, that was the experience they needed, and I could show them some of my other houses just as an informal portfolio. And sure enough, less than 24 hours, they emailed me back and they were like, hey, we want to work with you. And I'm just like, the rest is history. So within that being said, I got to make 2 houses for them. This was the very first house I designed in this game, and it was truly an honor. So thank you, Hometopia, for allowing me to work with you guys. It was a lot of fun designing these homes for it. So now going back to some of the features about the game, it is a multiplayer. I believe up to 4 people can play a game at once. You could have someone, working on the first floor while someone's decorating the second, all in real time. It's a really cool feature that is very unique to this game. And then there's also the 2 sandbox and career modes that we were talking about. And if you're someone like me who loves to build modern houses and you use floor to ceiling modern glass windows, there's a tool you can use to drag out the windows. Instead of having to draw out your drywall and then placing windows individually on each panel of wall, you can drag out and use an floor to ceiling glass tool, and it automatically just becomes a glass wall. There's no further customization needed on that. As far out as you need to drag it out is what it will be. So that is a really useful feature, because in 99.9 and 3/4 of my homes, they will definitely have some kind of floor to ceiling window like that. So that was a good feature that I wanted to highlight there. And a little bit about this house, the layout that you've seen so far. The first floor has 2 separate wings. One is for just entertainment and like amenities. So you have the garage, the game room, and a gym. On the right side, you'll have your bedrooms, and then there's an office. And then the second floor is what's going to connect the house together to make it one. That is where the main bedroom is going to be, and a huge closet and a kitchen, and the dining area that's the area that floats right in the middle of the second floor. And then you will have the living room. So yeah, just mainly the open space of that in your living areas. And another thing you'll have in this house is in the main bathroom, I put a skylight above the shower. I've seen this done in real houses before, and I really like that look because you get to have it's the best way in my opinion to get full on natural light and windows in your bathroom. And in one of the most invading spaces, which is the shower, that is like, it's a good way to have that without feeling exposed because it's on the top. And no one's really looking in unless someone is walking on the roof, which I hope they're not. But in general, you get the idea that it's a good way to have natural lighting in windows without compromising your privacy and feeling exposed to the whole world. So some of the rooms that I have highlighted here is the kitchen. I kind of went with a wide layout and I put a wide island on there too. It was really fun to just be creative and find ways to bring those kitchen pieces together because each kitchen will have a set with their appliances and counters and islands to match it up however you want to. Of course, I went with a modern, like more minimalistic look. And for the bedroom, it has the panoramic view because this setting is really, really cool. You get mountains in the background, there's trees, it's very serene, it's very like private, not very opposite of like a city vibe. So yeah, it's all about nature. I really wanted to build a house around that, and the house that I found online was a perfect representation of that. And anytime I play a game for the first time, I always try to just look for a house that I can copy on the outside, and I'll figure out the inside and design that on my own from scratch. But for the most part, whenever I'm trying a new game or any kind of new design program, I'm just like, I need to find a house that I can copy so that it's good practice for me, and also because it's one less thing for me to think about because I'm already thinking about a million things as to how everything works. How do I do this? How do I do that? So it makes my life 10 times easier if I just have some kind of house to go off of in real life to practice on and just make my layout by default. With the bathroom, I had two of everything in there, 2 sinks, 2 shower heads, 2 toilets. And then for the closet, I just had a big space that I divided into 2 so that each person has their own area. I call it like the aisle closet because it feels like you're walking down a store and you're going through different aisles. So like if you have an aisle closet in your house, that's a pretty good flex. And it's something that makes everyone happy. If you have a spouse, you have equally divided spaces for storing your wardrobe, or if it's just you, then it's all you and you can truly spread out and you'll still be happy because you're not running out of room. And so yeah, if it's just you, you're not running out of room, and if you're with someone, you're not fighting over the closet space because there's enough for everybody. With this house, again, I really wanted to make it match the environment, so I did put a lot of outside spaces in it because the outside middle place here is one thing that I really like, just having extra room for that, because it kind of reminds me of like a college campus or an apartment complex where there's like so many places to just hang out, just random chairs wherever. So it's always a good spot to hang out or do some work or whatever it might be. And then on the second floor, there's also a terrace here, and I am obsessed that they have the string lights. I was very happy about that because I feel like no matter how crappy or how amazing a house can be, I don't even care if it's a box, but if it has like these string lights on the land around it, I just feel like it always looks amazing. So whether it's like a random little shack or a 10,000 square foot house with 25,000 bedrooms in it, it will still just look very nice. And so I love things that can look universal like that, no matter what kind of a space it is. So yeah, with that being said, this was a really fun project. I got to collaborate with them by making 2 houses with Hometopia. It was just very fun to see the other designers, the things that they came up with and designed. So again, it was a very fun project. Thank you, Hometopia. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.